My name is Lady Zen. I'm a fusion poet from Portland, Maine. I've been invited to perform at Gay Pride in Amsterdam. This is the second invitation that I've actually received from Amsterdam to come and perform. The first invitation came my first year in grad school. And I wasn't able to commit the time because I wasn't sure what my schedule was going to be. And the second invitation has come so sweetly. The club is called Café de Mange. It's actually the first gay bar that was opened in the Netherlands in 1927 by a woman named Bet Van Buren. Bet was a lesbian. She was a Harley riding, leather wearing, beer drinking, very interesting character from what I understand. The club is still in existence today, and her family became very interested in my story and why I was traveling from Maine to Amsterdam. And there was a connection made immediately. They said that their aunt was this very prominent butch dyke in the history of the queer movement in Amsterdam. Her bar has actually been photographed and completely reconstructed in one of the museums in Amsterdam. The other strange connection that I found immediately when I was walking the streets in Amsterdam was a photo of Longfellow and Anne Frank. And I had forgotten that Longfellow had actually spent some time in Amsterdam. And so here was this connection home just with this simple photo of a poet. And I realized how important it is for those connections to be made. As a fusion poet, fusion means taking a lot of different elements and putting them together. Now, my background is in gospel, jazz, opera, and Brazilian music. I'm a Brazilian American. So being here in Maine has actually helped me develop these particular collaborations with people on a wider range of musical composition and art composition that I have never taken on before. The pieces I'm composing are dance tracks. They're more like house tracks. I find that house music in our current culture of listening is a great vehicle for poetry to convey something that's a little more deep, and it allows the listener to realize what they like about the piece. And house music in itself is a kind of fusion. It's borrowing from all kinds of different disciplines that kind of excite or create a kind of thought. So I'm using producer Mo Noons. I interviewed 5 different producers, listened to a lot of different tracks. I feel like Mo is the most versed in what I want to do. So it's kind of a mix of, I really have a love for disco, but it's kind of a mix of disco and jazz and kind of this, it gives you this feeling of gospel. But the first piece that I've composed for the festival is about the joy that we receive just from listening to music. It's kind of my prayer to the interpretation or the idea, if music suddenly became a person, how would I say thank you? And so I believe that this will kind of kick off this moment of like joy and exuberation. And it's like I said, it's kind of got that gospel sort of feel to it. So I'm hoping that people will just immediately grasp onto that and feel that and get excited about the next 2 pieces that are coming. So the family has given me the opportunity to live in her apartment. I'll get to be in her environment, in her everyday living situation. I get to go from upstairs to down to the bar. I get to see the crowds of people that will be flooding the street. It'll be set up. We have a music festival here called the Old Port Fest, and there's all these different stages set up, and there's music happening everywhere, and there's food, and everybody's having a great time. And it's kind of going to be like that, in that it's just the streets blocked off, and it's one big block party. In our current culture, I feel that it's really important to define and bring more information to this dialogue about gender. This woman, being a butch dyke in her country, was not afraid to be herself, was not afraid to fight for what she believed were human rights. As an artist, I'm always seeking ways to make connection and to have a conversation with other individuals about what it is that makes us all the same. Bet Van Buren marched through the street in a man's suit with a drag queen on her arm, straight into City Hall, and said, "Marry us." What a powerful statement. In the 1900s, the early 1900s, these are the same rights that we're fighting for today. This will be the second time that I've been in Amsterdam. The first time discovering this particular little spot that nobody told us about. It wasn't in any kind of travel book that we were looking at. But to go back and see my friends and to experience the joy of seeing these people that made my first experience so amazing, and to be able to give back and perform new pieces of work, and to get a crowd excited. Like, I can't wait to stand on that stage, strong and proud, to be able to give back to that community the joy that I have already received from being invited will be a great moment of achievement for me. It's difficult to surmise all of the emotions in just a few words of what that day is going to feel like. But I can guarantee it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope that you'll join me in making this a possibility. And thanks for watching my video.